Welcome to the Church Sound Podcast, where kingdom culture, real life, and technology intersect. I'm your host, Prentice Thompson, along with the pastor, Caleb Winley. We're here to help you get through Sunday. Did you hear the pastor? What about your live streams, social media? We provide solid solutions for all of your multimedia needs. Let's learn something today. Let's go.
Yes. Welcome to another edition of the Church Sound Podcast, episode number 65. I am your humble host, Mr. Prentice Thompson, along with the good
Pastor Caleb Winley. Guys, how y'all doing out there tonight, today, wherever it is for you?
Good evening.
You know what I mean?
Whatever time you listen to this,
yeah,
if you're live and you listen to it's a good day above board.
Yep.
So welcome to episode number 65. Mm-hmm. And we have a great topic for you today.
We do.
We're going to talk about the future and the past of something that was done religiously in our churches. Yeah. It's called church announcements. And why? And you got to talk about it. You think about it now. I mean, before we dive in, you got to think about this. This is off the dome.
Yeah.
What church have you ever been to that had no announcements?
Oh, there's been a few.
You've been to a church that never had announcements?
There's been a few, bro.
That never had announcements?
Never. If they did announcements, they didn't. It was something that was internally that was dealt with, but it wasn't something that was across the pulpit.
So if they had an event on Friday, they didn't announce it?
Nah. They had flyers. You know what I'm saying? They didn't. No one stood up.
So you mean to tell me? I've never heard of this.
Oh,
what
yeah, bro.
Is this?
Yeah.
Never had announcements? Did they have digital announcements?
No.
No announcements. So no one got information.
No announcements at all.
Okay, so that's even worse.
Exactly.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
First of all, this is like one of
this is a zebra, a unicorn, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, this is a unicorn. Yeah, I'm bewildered. I'm buffooned. You know, I'm running amok. You know, I'm letting it scream right now.
Yeah, and it's funny. The person came to me and was like, you know, they looked at some of the stuff that we was doing, and it was like, wow, you know, we've never even thought to do that. I was like, what? I said, how do you disseminate information? How do you let people know what's that? He said, we don't. Most of the leadership knows. And then we give out flyers at the door. We do. So there's nothing verbal? Wow. She was like, nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Well, let's talk about the 99.99 churches that we're going to talk about today. Not the minus 0.8 percentile.
Exactly.
Churches.
Man.
You're going to talk about the importance of it and why it's important in this information age. So how are you doing, brother?
Brother, I'm doing good, man. I had a good week. Peaceable week, rough week, but good. You know what I'm saying? I got to get some things done and help some people out. So it was a good week. You know what I'm saying? I felt good about it. You know, I felt good about it at the end of the week. Definitely.
Good. Which brings us to our first point.
Yeah.
Which is those of you who are new listeners and those of you who are our tried and true, and we want to thank you for being there. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter.
Please.
Get all that important information that we're sharing. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button. And if you're listening to this, make sure you share, like, and review. We would really, really appreciate it. So those of you who are our veterans, and some of our newbies who ran across this show and said, what is this about? So we do this segment called Sunday School. And Sunday School is the funny stories that we find in church that we tell amongst each other as workers, as people in the helps ministry or the AV ministry, if you will, that we find funny to ourselves. So today, the man on the mic, the pastor, the man with the gavel and the hot robe, is the illustrious Pastor Caleb Winley. And let's get down with some Sunday school.
No doubt. So guys, it has been, this must be 20 years in the making, but I'm gonna give you my points. First I'm gonna hit you with my points. And remember, this is 20 years ago, this what we're gonna be talking about today. So my first point is, let me see, what was it? Yeah, okay. I can't hear, not because I'm deaf. I can't hear, not because I'm deaf.
Oh, God.
I can't hear. That's the first one. I can't hear, not because I'm deaf.
Okay.
All right. Number 2, won't be no static.
Won't be no static.
Won't be no static. Won't be no static. Won't be no static.
Okay.
Number 3, it's just a shame.
It's just a shame?
It's just a shame.
Sheesh.
It's just a shame. Yeah. I can't hear, and it's not because I'm deaf. I'm not deaf. Won't be no static. It's just a shame. So, my brother, which one you gonna pick?
The most interesting topic is something that's I'm bewildered. I'm out in the wilderness again. 40 years. Looking for that manna.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go with number 1.
Okay. Number 1. Okay. Is it all right if I switched it for you?
So basically, you want to tell what you want to tell.
I want to tell about that one, but that one is a little revealing.
Okay, so what is my safe choice? Like, give me my safe choice.
Your safest choice would be won't be no static.
Won't be no static. That's my.
I don't have to reveal nobody.
Hold on. Static is the same choice. Won't be no static. Whoa, this other topic must be really bad. If you say won't be no static is the safe choice,
that's the safe choice.
Lord Jesus. I mean, and I can't hear is the hot rail?
Yeah. Won't be
Can we revisit it at some time in the future?
We definitely will. We definitely will. I gotta figure out how not to reveal some people.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So
all right. So I'll go with your leading pastor. I'm going to follow suit and follow your lead, sir. And so we're going to go with won't be no static for $44.99.
No static. Thank you very much. And it's very important that we do that. So because that first one is gonna be like, why'd you say that? I'm not on no emails, no text messages, and that will definitely cause that. Boy, did you hear what your husband said? Exactly. Right. So, won't be no static is very, very. This is a very funny story. How this is 20 years ago. So I am maybe a little longer than that. So we're moving to a new church, right? I was a part of a new building, moved into a new church. And at first our mixing board and everything was up in the ceiling. So we was like way up in the ceiling. And then we was not just up in the ceiling, but we were behind the band.
Wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah.
So yo, like not a balcony. Yo, in a balcony?
No, not even a balcony. Like a hole right before the ceiling.
Oh, like a sports broadcasting field. Small window.
Actually, what the hole was the building was an old movie theater. It was the
projector room.
Yeah. So that was our first. So now, everybody's excited. We move into this new building. And we get into this new building, and they're like, "Look, you're gonna love where the audio booth is because you're not up in that hole anymore." So we're like, "Okay, cool." We roll up in there, me and my boy, and we look in, and I was like, "Okay, this is good." But I see that you guys put down some great carpet but you put carpet in this room.
Oh my gosh.
So I said,
oh gosh.
You really can't have all this electronic equipment around carpet. And so they're like, look, I hear you, but we spent for this carpet, and we ain't cutting no carpet to get rid. No, so y'all gonna have to find a workaround or something. I'm like, okay. Now, here's the funny thing about moving into a new building. When people put the attention on the building, but not the equipment. So not only was we moved into a room that was tight for two people, we were also given the old equipment. Nothing was upgraded. So we had a Mackie board. I think it was about maybe a 64, maybe 64.
That'd be 32.
Yeah, so it was huge to us. It was huge.
32 by
analog. You know what I'm saying?
Another one, 32 by 8.
Right, but this board was so old, it was mixing the little plastic knobs on the top. So half of the board was
knobs,
metal. Little metal stick.
Yeah. So right.
So now here we are. We in this room.
So you don't know where your dial is. I have no idea.
With carpet. And we touching this board.
Zap.
So the whole service, we're either getting zapped, popped, or there's this weird hum that keeps emanating off the system. Right. So we trying to tell, the pastor at the particular time, look, you guys gotta, maybe what we could do is put in some money to get a rubber mat. Put a rubber mat down, and maybe that might help. And so they pushed it, and they pushed it, and they pushed it. Okay, we'll do it. One Sunday came, okay, we'll do it. Another Sunday came, okay, we'll do it. This Sunday, they got the message. So at this point, I didn't show up on this particular Sunday. My boy did. My boy is of the Jamaican persuasion. It's cold outside.
Why go
on? He's wearing a full corduroy suit. Can't make this up.
Oh, he was Mr. Electricity.
Yo, exactly.
He was Mr. Electricity.
So he's in there, he's mixing, and when he told me to start, I was like, what? So he said he touched the board.
I know what happened.
He touched the board, and he didn't get shocked. The board got
died.
Fried. It just gone. And so it's so important that he said, we tried to tell you that carpet is going to cause static, and we don't want static. And then this day, my brother come in wearing full corduroy. You know how they are. They got the corduroy, got the big knit hat.
He was a conduit.
He was absolutely sitting there like
lightning rod.
Yeah, clearly.
Rub your hands together and be like,
fried.
Look at it.
Fried. And I think what he said also, he walked, this is a big building, so he walked from the bathroom back to the audio room, and he got all this, and he was like Black Panther. You done, them people been shooting you, you got all that charged up.
You got vibranium on them.
We went to go bring up the pastor, and that joint said, poof. Now, that was all we had for that board. That was it. So, please, this won't be no static. Keep all of your carpet, you old schoolers. You old schoolers, keep that carpet out of your media room.
That is too funny.
And I've been in churches where carpet was on the wall, bro. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is too funny.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
There you have it, Sunday school. So if anyone's listening out there, no carpet.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
No carpet.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Please.
Yes, please don't do it. So let's get into our topic. We're going to talk about digital announcements, the creation of digital announcements. Let's talk about the importance of announcement, period.
Right.
And Because in 99.999999% of churches have announcements.
Right.
And if you look at, if you go to a church, you know what I've missed? I think about this bulletins. Remember bulletins? You walk in the church bulletin.
Oh, yeah. Like, yep.
Saving trees. Anyway, so.
And saving graphic designers.
Saving graphic designers.
I used to be the brother that had to make the bulletin.
Oh man,
every Saturday.
Dude, I know. You know the things that kill us. Let's jump ahead. All right, so hey, listen, sure. I definitely know. So the importance. If you look at any audience or any of our people that's going to church at any number of time and got the church bulletin, you always see on the lineup, it could be opening prayer, praise and worship, Old Testament scripture, New Testament scripture, offering. Yeah. You see, and then you'll see announcements.
Exactly. Yep, you're right.
And announcements is kind of grown into what we call the now, where news used to be at 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. To now the 24-hour news cycle where you can get news all the time. So it went from paper to digital.
Yeah.
All right. But the goal of announcements is to provide information for the upcoming week, events, your current events or your weekly events, meaning to remind the parishioners that to come to these services during the week for your spiritual upliftment, whatever. If it's most churches is Wednesday's Bible study. Our church, we got 2 services. So you know, so most churches is Wednesday and it's Bible study, and you have prayer on Friday.
Right.
Announcements that you're going to have rehearsal and praise and worship rehearsal on Saturday, and you know this the things that go on during the week, or someone may be getting married, or baptism, or any of the church events, and then on top of that, the special events like church picnics, or pastor appreciation,
funerals, stuff like that too.
Things like that. All this stuff is pertinent information for the parishioners to know what is coming, what is about to happen, and so they can prepare to attend, or just be aware, or just be aware, because sometimes you can miss the announcements and not know, or the church was talking about. I don't know how they found out. I was supposed to know how they did that.
I don't know what they did, bro.
So announcements are for information.
Yeah.
So this is how announcements went at my church.
Oh boy.
Giving honor to God, who is the head of my life.
I was part of a church like that.
I'm here to give the church announcements on Saturday. On Saturday, the pastor said to come, all the men's is to come, we're going to move the benches. And we're going to move the benches from the left to the right, and the white people will come, and the people will come and sweep under there on the right side. Now, on the following Saturday, we're going to move it back to the other side so they can get the dirt and the crust out the other side of the church, because the women, the nurses, the department with the white shoes are complaining that their shoes are getting mighty dirty on one foot. So therefore, we want to have everyone out there, and pastor said to come out, and we're going to have dinner right after morning service. We got huckabuckers, we got oxtail and dinner plates is $4, and a juice is $2. Come on out and praise the Lord, and we have our second service. And our second service, we going over to Bethel Catholic Apostolic Church, over there on the north side of town. And the pastor's asking everybody, we're going to leave at 3:30. 3:30. We're going to get there on time for the word of God. And the Lord can bless. And we're going to leave out there no later than 11 p.m. No later than 11 p.m. because some people have to work tomorrow. So that was announcements. That is not announcements now. And if
no, that's not announcements.
Oh, no. Listen.
Or there is the one that I seen was, okay, right before the word, oh, okay, these cards here is what I'm reading?
Oh, okay. Gosh.
Yo, I've been there. Okay. Okay. Next Sunday, we're gonna have a fish fry, and everybody gotta bring fish
for the fry.
Is this the right announcement? This says BYOB. Bring what we who? Oh, Pastor, we want y'all to bring juice, sir. Okay. We ain't Baptist now. I'm telling y'all. I've seen that, bro. And the pastor's nobody else doing the announcements. The pastor's doing the announcements. And people are running up. Hold on. I gotta preach the word.
Someone's car is double parked.
Exactly.
License plate Altima 2003. It's 5X3 FB3.
Right.
5X3. Your car is double parked. Please come out right now.
Exactly.
Before the word is preached, because we need to hear the word of God.
Yep. Man, that's what we used to do, but that wasn't it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was our beginnings. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
Now definitely. A lot better. I hope.
Yeah, I hope. And a lot of churches have adapted. So we want to talk about, because we understand that announcements are for information. Mm-hmm. Now, we're in this information age. And being that we're in an information age, delivering announcements in a format that is more appeasing, that is more pleasing, and that is filled with the energy that you like to. Digital announcements can be so creative, if you're creative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're creative. And the thing is, when you're doing, and I think a lot of times in preparing digital announcements, a lot of times the leaders and the lay people don't understand the amount of work that goes into preparing digital announcements. Yeah. So let's talk about one aspect of it, which is the graphic aspect of it. So what do you say for that?
Graphically, I remember doing the announcements, and it would take, brother, at least 3 to 4 hours. And sometimes we would have to shorten those announcements because we had to get to a place where we stopped saying, hey, look, I'm not going to run meetings in the announcements. If there's a meeting, that meeting needs to be taken care of by that lead of that particular area, as opposed to you putting that in here. And now we got 30 minutes of announcements at the end of the service. Like, okay, by the time you get to the end, you're like, oh, wait a minute, wasn't somebody having a meeting? It's like, and you don't forget. So as a creative, it takes a lot to sit there and have to figure out, how do I take these words and make it come to life, so that way the person that's sitting, who probably will see this announcement between now and that time that it's the event, maybe 5-6 times, it's got to be exciting. It's got to be colorful. It's got to have some music to it. Yeah, man. It's got to catch, and it's got to catch attention, but it's got to be done quickly. It's got to be the 1, 2, 3, just bing, bing, bing. We're done, and we move on to the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think that what people don't understand is that what it really is, it's video editing.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. And as an editor, I can tell you that your image has to match the message.
Right.
Your image should say what the announcement is before the words arrive. So what happens is we will get the announcements and it may say church picnic Saturday. You can't have a picture of a goose. You can't have a picture of an old church building. You can't. No, it has to say.
It's got
fun.
Yep.
It has to say outdoors.
Yeah.
It has to say family.
Right.
It has to say fun. Not the words.
Right.
The image.
The image. Right. What represents it. You're right. Absolutely.
So then we go through the process of selecting the image. Do we want a JPEG, like a still shot? Do we want pictures from last year's picnic? Do we want movies from last year's picnic?
Right.
Do we want, maybe we get different perspectives from different people because they have their phones. Maybe we get all of their interactions to make that more exciting. This is when our creative hat comes on. Do we just pull stock footage of people in the park playing basketball, cooking? Do I show pictures of just grills and with the heading over it, church picnic, and like there's so many ways you can go. As a creator, you may create like 2 versions and don't even know because you keep changing your mind.
Yeah.
Because you're changing your mind, like, okay, that's not going to work. That's the type. And then on top, then after you get the image, now you're like, font.
Right. Yeah.
Speak to us about fonts, because I could go on all day about fonts.
Dude, and it's funny because I've trained a lot of the people in our ministry how to do the announcements. And a lot of times they got these thin little fonts. They got little script fonts. And I'm like, dude, it needs to be bold. It needs to keep someone's attention. They need to we need to make announcements not for ourselves. And that's a lot of times what we do. So I like the way this little font works. This makes sense. And I'm going to use 9-point text because we got a whole lot of text that we got to use. And then I'm going to make sure that this paragraph that they read, the time for them is only 30 seconds. No, none of that. You have to make sure that the font is legible, the font can be seen by everyone, and especially the font has to be seen. 90% of our churches is senior citizens. They've got to be able, from a far distance, be able to be engaged, the image is right, and they can read what's being said. And it's so important. Let's stop using, let's stop using the one font. I hate that. Can't stand that. You've been using Helvetica the whole announcements. You want to jazz it up a bit. You want to change your font. You want to have some movement. Maybe have something fly in, but they all have to make sense and they all have to be there long enough for that person sitting in the chair to read. If they can't read it, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense.
Right. Right. So you talking about images.
Yeah.
Talk about fonts.
Yeah.
Now, on top of that, now you have to have a music bed that works for the announcement. And and that's a whole other thing. Like selecting the right music is directly connected to the image. Right. Directly, you can't just put anything. You have a horror film. You're not gonna play. I'm gonna no, come here, Freddy. No, it's not.
The music is not giving me that feeling. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So all these things play in. So we say all this to say this to the lay people and to the people above us that's bringing the information to us. Because a lot of times you get information from different departments. which is the craziest thing ever.
Yep.
So the church I used to be at before, I used to assist with the announcements, and what they did was which was smart. They did like an announcement, like a sportscaster team. So with two people who were filming during the week. So and they would have different two people together, like two different groups or whatever. And they had these two old guys who were like the funniest two old dudes, like just naturally funny. You see them. Okay. Hey, how you doing, President? How you doing, Deacon? Hey, how you doing, boy? Come here. Hey, come here. Last time you had a haircut? Huh? Last time come here. You got some stuff on your collar. Yeah. Come here, let me fix you. This naturally funny. So what they would do is, shout out to my boy Josh Head, because we sat through many Saturdays filming announcements for Sunday. Right. And they did teleprompter. So this is before, like, we was doing teleprompter off everything, off our computers. Okay. Teleprompter. So we would write it out, and they would read it off, and then throw their thing on it. And they were so natural at it. It was kind of like watching a football game. You know, it would come on, and as soon as the people would see their image, everyone would start laughing. Like, soon as he would see church announcements, we had the like some sports music. And what were our announcers? He said, "Hey, y'all doing, church family? How y'all doing out there?" And they would go through it, and you get all the information. You laugh, and you're having a good time. That's good. It will be so entertaining that you got it all because you remembered what they said. Right. This was the downside, and this is when doing church goes bad. Okay, so the problem would be that sometimes the information would come at the last minute. Yeah. So just imagine this. You're not typing it in. Someone has to announce it. So they're doing live recordings for announcements. Not digital, not PowerPoint, no. Oh my God. So me and my boy Josh Head will be in our meetings, and we say, okay, what are the announcements for the week? So and Wednesday we have more. And then Thursday they added more. And then Friday, we're like, we have to write this. You can't, and then give us a title like such and such and such and such, parking lot washing. I mean, car washing back of the church Thursday. We have to write we have to write it. Oh God. This just titles. This just titles. Pastor's anniversary, February 3rd. Right. We just can't say. So 3rd it's Pastor's anniversary. Okay. Now the 4th is the 4th of July. You know, you can't. It's like you just can't. You can't read headings. So we have to write the copy. You know what I'm saying? We have to write the copy. Yeah. Right. And then on top of that, then you throw on top of that errors. Okay, we gotta go back. Okay, go back. Go back. Okay, go back. Okay, go back. Okay, go back. And then sometimes people be running up. We're recording because they were recording my office. So in my office, I had a huge office. Okay. So we would set up in my office or the office next to mine. And set the cameras up, set everything, set the lights up. We be in there. Okay, cool. We're gonna be there Saturday, 1:00. Book the people who's gonna come in. Have everybody mic'd up, whatever. And then hit it. One more. No. So what we had to do was we had to put a rule in place. If they're not in on Monday at 3 p.m., they're not going to the announcements. Do you know the type of uproar that we would get.
Oh, of course.
But this happened on Wednesday. We just found out on Wednesday. We have to record and write this on. So
right.
And sometimes things will come late, and that's fine. But it was happening every week.
Definitely. I know we had the same situation. What we did was we came up with, which I thought was ingenious. It was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. You have to turn your announcement into pastor's wife. She has to sign off on your announcement. And you got to make sure that she can read it. Because what we would get, and I kid you not, I think everybody took Latin from doctors. You ever see a doctor write a prescription?
Yes.
Right. Everybody that would turn an announcement would look like some doctor did it. I'm like, what is this?
Dr. Zimbabwe.
Exactly. I got to take this to the pharmacy so that I can know what he wrote here, because this don't make no sense. And so she would go through the announcements, make sure they made sense, as well as, and she wanted to do it. She chose to do it. She said, I want that responsibility, because what would happen is we would start to do the announcements on Fridays to make sure that it was done, Saturday, then we do the preview. And so she was like, no, I need everything by Wednesday, and I'm going to go through them, and whatever I can't read goes back, and they don't come out. Those announcements will not come back. And that worked for us, but it took the pressure off of them looking at us. I was like, yo, y'all got a problem, go talk to pastor. Ain't nobody doing that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to hold pastor. What's the deal?
Right.
So yeah, man, you're right. People late, Johnny, Janie, come lately with it.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah. And I think the whole thing is that, because what it really boils down to is people don't understand how much time it really takes.
Right.
Because there's a word that we all hate as editors, and it starts with the R and it ends with a G. It's called rendering.
Oh my God.
So now rendering is a lot easier now. But
it is. You're right.
Because it's a lot faster now. But I remember if you had 5 minutes of footage, and no matter how much, you had a lot of things going, because I started out in Final Cut Pro 7. You just go render and come back in an hour, or come back in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, God forbid, you look at your final and you go like, oh my God, I misspelled pastor. It says after.
Oh my God.
Now you got to go back. It said, we need the announcements now. You're like, this to change a P.
Right.
Just to change a P.
Yeah.
A letter.
Yeah.
A font.
Yep.
The picture's not centered.
Man. Exactly. You got to spend time. Yeah.
Walk away. Just walk away. Come back in 45 minutes. And then see if you did it right. Because you can't preview it.
Right.
This is it's like 10, 15 years ago. You can't. Now rendering is a lot faster. Because computers are a lot faster.
It is. Depending upon what you put in it. You know what I'm saying? Because some people was like, oh, we're going to use HD content for our announcements. Why? Dumb that down. I'm going to watch it in 5 minutes. But what tends to happen is a lot of people get, like you said, bottleneck. They get bottleneck. Okay, I'm going to go home and we'll see if this happens in the morning. No, can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I remember one time, bro, this is a funny story. So somebody came and says, okay, so we do an announcement. We are going to, you know how like the girls get dressed in the bikinis and they wash the cars. So we're going to be outside the church and we're going to dress in our choir robes and we're going to offer.
I can't. I just can't. I can't.
Yo, wait.
It can't be more. It just can't be more. It can't be more. It just can't be more.
So I'm like, what? Okay, so, oh yes, and we staged a picture for you. It's
the holy rollers? Like, what the heck? The holy rollers?
They're in wet choir robes.
I can't. I can't. What's that? I can't.
I'm not putting that in. No. So you crazy? No. It was going to say car wash outside, go there. See ya. Bye.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, hilarity. The ideas that come across, you know what I'm saying? And think about that. I'm thinking about the novice that doesn't know any better. Oh, that's great. We're going to do it. Okay.
That is too,
bro,
gosh.
Bro.
Sit-ups for me today.
Can't make this stuff up, man.
I have no use for sit-ups right now. I have no use for sit-ups. I have no use.
Can't make it up.
Oh my gosh, that is too.
Yeah.
That is too funny. All right, so so getting to the point of announcement is that first one, we want to make sure that it's engaging. 2, that we're choosing the right font.
Right.
3, that we're choosing the right music. Mm-hmm. Lastly, that we get them in a timely order.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I say the 5th one is sequence.
Yeah. Knowing what to play after. You know, it's I saw a guy did the announcements and played a comedy skit after a homegoing announcement. And I think depending upon the people, it could work. But this guy was talking about some comedy stuff that was like about dead people. And I was like, see that?
Ain't it? Get up. Call
you know what I'm saying? It's like, right.
His name is Timmy.
So that's not good. You know what I'm saying? So that sequence, that layout, you didn't think that through. I mean, you probably thought that was a good idea. I just want to lift their spirits, right? You want to lift their spirits and get hurt at the end of the service because, nobody thought that was a good idea. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. Sequencing is you have to know what should come after the other one, as well as transitioning. That transitioning, you know, how do you don't want the announcement coming in from the left, all of your announcements coming in from the left. You know, you want to be real kind of sensitive to how the movement of your sequences is as well when you're doing the announcement. I think that's very, very important, you know.
I think that a lot of times we can get caught in churchdom, meaning that this is how we do it, that type of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And we fail to realize that if you look at commercials will tell you what keeps your eye.
Right.
And sometimes we don't use or we don't think to look at what we do daily. Watch TV.
Right.
And what about this commercial or this ad made me watch the whole thing? Right,
exactly.
What colors did they use?
Right.
How did they say it? What was their expression? You know, and all those things. Even if it's just fonts and music and all those things. I think probably the thing that we didn't talk about was voiceovers.
Yeah. We have had in the past a major issue in that area. And it's not just having multiple people do voiceovers is where, or an event that goes for 2 weeks, then we pull out the event that no longer, and then now you got, you know, Minister Whisperer. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Service with your robes.
Right.
Bring your robes with you.
Right. But don't wear them. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you definitely gotta watch that because it's gotta be clear. And guess what? Here's one of the things that I really didn't pay a lot of attention to until later on. If you have somebody that's heavy baritone voice, you want to make sure that when they're playing, they can be heard. Because sometimes, because they have a very baritone voice, you're going to have to pull some of that bass, but add some highs, maybe even bring the mids up a little bit, so that way when that announcement is being released, because nobody's seeing anybody, I'm just listening. But if he's like, that's not going to work. And we've had situations like that where that's happened, and we've had to go back and do the 2-hour render and get it right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Right. I think a lot of times, especially when you're doing voiceover, just for instance, this show. So what you hear is a couple of different things, those who are listening and watching. So this is what our week looks like for this show. We record the show, so recording this on Zoom, and it's recording to my computer. I have a recording studio. So after this is recorded, it records the video as MP4.
Right.
I have to then convert it to MOV. All right. So I have to convert it to MOV. Then I take whoever's on the show, I take those individual tracks and put them into my session in Logic. I then EQ every voice, every nuance, every level, and all the things that you hear, all the music, all those things, they're all selected, and I have a template for that. So I know I can move things around, move it where I want. After I mix it, I have to mix it for MP3 for the show, for the podcast. Then I have to do a video mix to sync the mixed audio with the audio that's from the computer, because it doesn't sound like this. What you're hearing is not what it really sounds like.
Right, exactly.
So then I take that and I have to throw that into some more software, right? Remove the audio from the video file to sync with the mixed audio for the video feed. Then I have to render that.
Love it.
Right? I render that for the video, and then I send that off to Caleb for video editing.
Yep. Yeah.
Then I uploaded the MP3 version of the show with all the music and the effects and this, that. All that's not happening live. All this is happening afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So take in mind that these are all the steps that we do. Only in a lot of times, most people have people to do this, but we're just gifted in these areas so that we can do it until we can afford to pay someone to edit for us.
Right.
So until then, we cooking, we cleaning, we driving, we doing everything.
Yeah.
Until we get those positions full. So taking that into consideration when it comes to announcements, all the steps that you have to take to select the right music, to select the right effects, select the right font, to select the right color scheme.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes you have a wacky logo that you have to okay, I got to change that to, I got to remove the white from it because they sent me a JPEG, not a PNG. So now I have to convert it to a PNG and then pull that in, and so it's translucent and I can fade it out. As editors, these are the things we talk about.
Yeah.
And then after that, now this is the kicker. After that, now you got to get it approved. Yep. So after you do all that, and then they may come back with notes. Okay, change this, move this, change that, do that, do that. Okay, that's too small, that's too big, move this, do that.
Yeah.
So what you see on Sunday is a lot of work. Now, when it comes to, what do you think the optimum length of a digital announcement should be?
The way that we did at first we were like
5 hours.
You would think so, but at first we were doing 10 to 15 minutes worth of announcements.
Woo, that's a long time.
That's long and it's wrong. All right, that's just long and wrong. And the reason for it was because we had those meetings in there, and in any church, you can have 5 meetings on just a given Sunday. not to mention what's going to be done throughout the week. So we had to cut all that out. And then we had to cut the announcements because people would say, oh, I have an announcement. And their copy was like 2 pages long. This is not a dossier. I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
So our play is about
right.
struggle with the black man.
Exactly.
And then the church,
pause. You know, no, we're not doing any of that. So
empathy.
I think respectfully, 5 minutes, because people's attention span, no one wants to sit in the sanctuary. It's dependent upon when your announcement plays. I'll play after the word. I want to sit in there. Some people want to go home. I don't want to sit in there and watch the announcements for 15 minutes, even though it's good content and information. 5 minutes for us, for me, I really believe 5 minutes is pretty much the cutoff. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I think the other side of digital announcements really lead in to where we've been for the last 18 months. That's in the era of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So now your digital, if you've already been doing digital announcements, they're very easy to implement into your live broadcast.
Yeah.
So a lot of churches had to start doing it that way because of where we are right now as not as a country, as the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the digital announcements play a great point in illustrating. And even if, like, say for instance, an announcement comes in late and the pastor or the speaker can then speak on it quickly, to add to it, it makes it a lot easier especially if you're not bombarding the man and woman of God. If it's like, hey, listen, on Tuesday, we're going to meet after church. We're going to do da-da-da-da-da-da, whoop-de-whoop. Okay, all right, everybody's good. Raise your feet. You know, however you end your service, that helps.
It does.
It does. Really helps when you have someone who's amenable to that. Especially you don't take, because the last thing you want, and I think this is taking advantage of someone's time, especially after they gave the word. It's like we have 5 announcements, extra announcements. That's taking advantage. 1 or 0.
Right.
To me, it's 1 or 0.
Right.
You should have everything in. And with your digital announcements, they play a big point to stay modern, stay in this digital age, which is not going backwards.
Right. Please don't.
Which is not going backwards. I've not been to a church in years that had a handout bulletin.
I've seen a few, but they have. I've come back and they've implemented digital. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I think also one of the key things that you can do, especially because it's in COVID, if you're driving people to your website, your announcement should be on your website. You know what I'm saying? So that should be something that's important as well, because somebody is home, they're homebound, they want to know what's going on. So we make sure that our announcements is also housed on our website. And I think that's very key, because it gives them the ability to be in the now and to be in the know.
Right.
You know, so
Right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs of all ages. So we're not doing 30 seconds and gone this week. We've rather exhausted ourselves. I think next week, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
Next week, I want to have you give questions for Pastor Brown.
Okay, no doubt.
So you get, because last time he got you.
No doubt. Man.
So, yeah. So this time,
hit me up, bro.
I'm gonna give him a call. I'm gonna tell him to come back for 30 seconds and gone. And you're gonna have questions for Pastor Brown.
All right, no doubt.
That's what we're gonna do. So there you have it. Like we always, keep God first in everything you do. Yeah. We see you next time on the Church Sound Podcast.
No doubt.